Good morning, Writing 394. This is Professor Anderson with a quick overview of how all of these assignments in Writing 394 work together. So I just want to go through this quick little prezi that I've made for you. This is just Writing 394, just a general overview. There are 4 writing assignments. And the first one, which we finished, whoops, I can't quite get there. Writing assignment number 1, the communication barriers. Your purpose there is to take a look at the environments that you're in, whether it's your workplace or your home place. Identify the types of communication that take place, and then label the inhibitors or barriers that you might that might be in play. So when we identify them, we're considering the specific workplace or the specific portion of your home life, which might be, needing a dog park, needing a playground, needing sidewalks, needing street lights. In your workplace, it might be noise inhibitors. It might be, some introduction of a younger workforce. There's a host of different things that come into play, but you just want to consider that place. And when I say work here, I mean also home life environment. Describe the environment. The environment is not simply just the nuts and bolts, the chairs and desks, but also the types of communication that take place in there. And then identify the inhibitors and list at least 3 to 4 of them. Once you've done that and everyone's finished that, you're going to recognize that there are barriers in our work and our life's place. We're going to describe the situations in which those barriers occur. We're going to label them, define the impediment, define how it is that it sets you back in communication, and then rate the overall effectiveness. Now, we've done that one. This one's over. The next one is writing assignment number 2. And for some of you, I've gotten a lot of emails and a lot of posts about, whoa, this is kind of freaking me out. It seems a little daunting. Take a deep breath and step back for just a moment. Let me share with you how this fits into and what you should be considering as you craft this first draft of your synthesis. Writing assignment number 2, the synthesis review of literature. So what it is a written report of selected research available on the topic or a topic. So I want to take you back for just a second. The basis of what you want to do is head back into your real world examples and select one. Select one of these inhibitors that you noticed. And we're going to use that as the basis, the topic to research for your synthesis review. So then we move forward, and basically what you're going to do is use a UMUC1 search. We've done several exercises on how to use that to focus and target your research. You're going to select 7 to 10 articles. I believe that the writing assignment requires a minimum of 7. I completely recommend going at least 10. It just gives you a little more food for thought. Once you've selected these 7 to 10 articles on your topic, you're going to break them into 3 to 4 categories. So for example, let's say I selected, I need streetlights in my neighborhood. That was the impediment. It makes it difficult to walk my dog at night. It's not safe. It requires whatever. So the articles that I selected, I'm understanding as I read through them, I'm synthesizing, I'm putting them together in categories, how they relate to one another. And one of them is, I'm noticing that several of the articles focus on, let me scooch back in here, focus on a safety factor. In one of the articles talks about safety for drivers. One of the articles talks about safety for walkers. One of the articles talks about safety in terms of deterring crime. And then there's a group of articles that talk about, with respect to streetlights, building a sense of community. So one of the articles talks about having a sense of everything sort of looking the same inside of the community, of giving a sense of, I guess, as an aesthetic appeal to the neighborhood. And then another group of articles, they talk about I'm just pulling this right off the top of my head here because I can't really think for just a second. I should have had this prepared. That's part of the problem. That's part of the necessary items of writing. Let's see, the third group of articles, they talk about, making it easier for emergency vehicles. So it makes it a safer environment in terms of emergency vehicles, police, fire, the postal workers. They're able to locate and identify, your home or your housing it more easily, more readily. And there might be a fourth category. So you notice I have 7 to 10 articles, and then I've grouped them in categories. So that's what you are to do. And then write about what it is that these articles in general discuss, and then using APA format, synthesize and direct quote or using parenthetical citation, or summarize and making certain that you're noting the author. Summarize how those individual authors relate to one another. Now, oftentimes you're going to find research that is completely antithetical, is completely against what you say. That's just as, or what you're researching, that's just as important and just as valid. As one of the videos shows you, when you're researching, oftentimes if you have only proactive information, it invalidates, or it makes it seem less credible, your research, because not everybody agrees. And so you need to show both sides of the coin. So for example, this area, or I said it makes it a safer environment for vehicles and for for cars and walkers, and I'm not sure what else I said here, but so say this article, there might also be articles out there that say that it's actually less safe because some people want to be completely camouflaged inside of the environment and want nothing to do. So you want to make certain that if those articles you've selected do not support it, make certain that you're including those inside of each one of your categories where they fit appropriately. It is not a requirement to have articles that oppose your position, but if you do find some, you want to make certain that you do that. So that's writing assignment number 2, and then we'll be moving into writing assignment number 3. Let me move forward. It's not progressing. And writing assignment number 3 is a memorandum to a decision maker. And in that, so let me back up here just for a half a second. You're writing assignment number 2. I don't know why my computer's so slow today. Is what's called secondary research. That means somebody else did the research and published the findings. You are simply gathering information of somebody else's idea. Completely removed is any first-person reference. None of these ideas are yours. These are ideas of professionals in the industry, of whatever the barrier or situation you've selected. They have researched it. That's why it's called secondary. It doesn't come from you. You are reporting on what others have said or researched. When you get to the next phase in this whole big picture of writing a 394 is the memo. Now, the memo is after you've gathered what other people have thought. Now you're going to move into what people in the industry, in that situation that you've identified as a problem, what do they think about the situation? That's where you'll first ask for permission of a decision maker to proceed with primary research, identify the kind of primary research you're going to do, and present it and wait for a response. So then all of this moves forward to the final writing assignment number 4 that I will detail in greater depth next week as we begin to move into that. So I hope that gives you an understanding of where each one of these assignments move, because the writing assignment number 4 is where you take this initial understanding of this is a problem. Here's the background research on it. This is what I've researched in the industry, and I propose the solution of this way. So the writing assignment number 4 is kind of bringing together the first 3 and adding on there a proposal of how to correct the issue or how to address the issue. So I hope that gives you a little bit of a better understanding of the big picture for writing 394.